quick disclaimer before the video starts, my fan's on, so if you hear any wind, it's because of that. We're having a terrible heat wave in the UK, so yeah, nice. Let's get into the video. Basically today in Planet Coaster I'm going to be making a Mexican Aztec sort of themed area. Pretty much we're going to be using the adventure pack, really just making massive pyramid, new family coaster, new roller coaster, new section, everything like that. Next video we'll be using the new vintage DLC because that DLC is bloody amazing. I'm trying not to swear because family friendly content, very nice. So basically next week we're going to be using the vintage DLC, but this week I recorded this about 2 weeks ago because I've had no motivation to make this video, but we're going to be using the adventure pack just to be making a new heavily themed roller coaster, which I'm going to be continuing in a few episodes time. Also we're going to be getting the quest into the Enchanted Village this week, the POV. I'm going to be finishing that in a few episodes time. It's very convoluted, however we're going to be getting into this, and it's going to be a very long episode because I recorded for about 4 hours for this. So for this ride I chose the Wendigo style coaster. I wanted to make a family coaster, and there's nothing else that really fits the theme. I could have used a dragon, that wouldn't have fit at all because dragons and Aztecs really don't work together. This kind of works because I can change the colours around and it just helps a bit more. And I turned off track limits because that just doesn't work with the roller coaster if you actually have the track limits on, because you can only really do like 30-degree drops, and I ain't doing that. An interesting thing about this ride, I changed like the layout of the second half after I build it. So I build the second half and then I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. So I go around, do it all again, and it gets really annoying. Talking about annoying, this whole block building section bit here, this is the most irritating thing to do on the game. Like doing the just the 4x4 blocks, that's fine. Doing things that actually matter what direction they are, that is annoying as all hell, because you have to meticulously place every single piece perfectly, otherwise it's going to be in the complete wrong direction and it's going to look awful. That being said, if you do it all correctly and it all looks fine, it looks amazing. So as I put a lot of time into this, it actually looks alright, so I think it's pretty good. Now the path that this attraction is going to go down is probably going to be like some sort of heavily themed roller coaster for families, like good family fun. But it's going to follow the sort of story like you're on a archaeology expedition, right? And you're going through like this old Aztec village, right? Then you're going to stumble across like a temple that you're not supposed to come across, and then magic spells and rituals start happening, and then you leave this little area which has like all flashing lights in it. Then you enter like this temple, right? And there's a massive stone statue of a god in there, and then fire starts going off and strobe lights start going off, and traps and all that sort of stuff starts going off. And really I think the end product looks pretty good. Of course it's not finished yet. I need to finish the convoluted mess that is Journey into the Enchanted Forest Village. Yeah, Journey into the Enchanted Forest. And then I'm going to start the vintage old-fashioned pier section, and then I need to do the train, and then I can finally get back to this. I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's going to work out somehow. But by the end of making this area, I'm going to it's going to have this ride, probably a log flume that's just going to be a rip-off of Chiapas, because I love that ride, and maybe a few more family rides, maybe a few more maybe smaller roller coasters, something like that. But I'm really just going to see what happens and then hope I can make something that looks pretty alright. So you've seen the length of this video, right? And you've seen the title of this video, right? So I bet you're wondering what I'm going to end up talking about, but I've decided for this hour or so that the video is going to run on for, well, that's the amount of raw footage that I have, so it's probably going to run for about that sort of time. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do in Europe, because I haven't talked about that and I've been planning to do so. So pretty much in 6 days upon time of recording this video, which is the 15th of July, I'm going to be in Alton Towers. I'm going to be on Wickerman, going to be going on Nemesis, one of the best inverts out there. I'm going to be going on the Smiler, a pretty cool ride, Oblivion, Galactica, 13, Rita, all those sorts of rides. I've been there 3 times before, but I'm going there again because I love that place. Then a few days later, I'm not sure on the times, but I'm going to film a vlog, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Now at the moment, that's actually my favourite park in the UK because they've just got this atmosphere that I just cannot get enough of. Okay, they've got my favourite ride in the UK at the moment, which is Valhalla. Along with that, they've got an amazing coaster lineup with Icon now new for 2018. The big one, Grand National, one of the best wooden roller coasters in the UK. One of my favourite wooden roller coasters of all time, actually. That's an amazing ride. The Big Dipper, Avalanche. They've got a lot. Honestly, I think that their coaster lineup's actually more diverse than that of Alton Towers, just because of the historical attractions that they have. It's really, really good. So after that, we're going to mainland Europe. On the 2nd or 3rd of August, we're going to be heading down to Germany through France and Switzerland. Going to be meeting a few family members, just catching up with relatives. Then, a few days later, we're going to Europa Park, what's known as one of the best theme parks in the world, rated by Golden Tickets as the best theme park in the world. I've been there 2 times before, and I can say that, along with Efteling, Busch Gardens Tampa and Port Aventura, that it is one of my favourite theme parks. I can't wait to go back there and get on some of my favourite rides, such as Roland Timber Coaster, Silver Star and Blue Fire Mega Coaster, which are all incredible roller coasters, but also to get on a few of the rides that I haven't done, like Arthur and the Minimoys Kingdom and Voletarium, which is a ride a bit like soaring at the Disneylands in California, Orlando and Shanghai, for those that didn't know. Then we're heading up about an hour to go to Holiday Park in Hasloch. This park doesn't really have much. It has a few roller coasters, I think 3 roller coasters, or even 2 if the one new for 2018, which is just a little kiddie ride, isn't there or open when we go. But the reason why we are going is because those 2 roller coasters look incredible. Of course, vlogs on ride POVs will be expected from this channel because I have got the GoPro very recently actually. But yeah, the 2 rides I do have, Sky Scream and Expedition G-Force, look out of this world. Like, Expedition G-Force has been voted the best roller coaster ever built a few times actually in the Mitch Hawker Steel roller coaster polls and the Golden Ticket Awards best steel roller coaster. And even when it hasn't been rated the best in the world, it's been rated ridiculously high by people that have ridden it, by people that have just voted in these polls. So I think it's going to be incredible. It could be a new number 1, we'll see about that. The other one they do have is Sky Scream, which is a triple launched premiere ride, Skyrocket 2. If you don't know what that is, I'll put a picture up on the screen now. It looks pretty fun. It's got the 3 launches, top speed 60 or so miles per hour, goes about 150 foot in the air, and it's got a very slow inversion up at the top of that spike, so it looks really fun. I'm excited for that park. It doesn't look too good. Like I've heard it like described as the park with the best roller coaster in the world, but the worst park in Germany. But judging by videos I've seen of the park and people going there sharing their thoughts, like Theme Park Worldwide, that's probably going to be the person that I compare myself a lot to, because I'm pretty much like taking his sort of format and running with it. But he said that it's a nice park. I've seen his vlogs. It looks like a nice park, so we'll see what happens, and you can see my thoughts and reactions when I go to the park, so we can see what happens there. Now, along with Holiday Park, up in the more northern part of Germany, we're going to Cologne. Now, Cologne has what is arguably the best park in Germany. I still think Europa Park looks better than it, but the roller coaster collection in this certain park looks incredible. I've been to this park before and I keep on going on about it in my videos because I'm obsessed with that place. It's Phantasialand in Brühl, and what I'm obsessed about with this park is their new for 2016 roller coaster, Taron. Now, Taron is a roller coaster that's constantly rated one of the best launch coasters in the world, the best launch coaster in the world, and one of the best steel roller coasters in the world, or just roller coasters in general in the world. And I can definitely see where people are coming from. It looks fast, it looks intense, lots of airtime, fast launches. It looks amazing. The theming and everything just come together in what I think is going to be a really, really good ride. Of course, they do also have Chiapas, which is Another ride which I keep on referencing, especially with this sort of area because it is in the Mexican themed area in that park. And Chiapas is, it's a strange ride for me because I went there in 2014 and I went on Chiapas not expecting a lot. And honestly, when I got off that, I just wanted to keep on going round again and again. If you don't know what it is, it's just a log flume, but it is the best log flume in the world, in my opinion, the best water ride in the world. Pretty much you go through so many of these like ancient Mexican caves and loads of weird stuff happens, and it's just an incredible experience. If you want to do it and if you're interested in doing it, I think you should just go out there, go to Phantasialand and do it, because it's absolutely incredible. And a lot of people actually do say that it is one of, if not the best ride in the world. Like I know a few people that have been on it, have been on massive roller coasters, and say that they prefer Chiapas as a ride than these massive roller coasters. So it's just absolutely amazing. Talking about amazing, the next park we have is Hansa Park. So this is about 4 hours away from Phantasialand, and it has probably my most anticipated ride, roller coaster, whatever you want to like say, of the entire trip. This is a roller coaster called Schwarzkörnern, and this ride, I'm not going to spoil it because if you want to like go there, if you want to be surprised, you can. But this ride has some absolutely insane elements to it. It's got the one element that a lot of like coaster enthusiasts and a lot of people that are into roller coasters say terrifies literally all of them. Along with all of these surprises, it does have a really good ride layout. It's got lots of high-speed twists, lots of intense ejector airtime moments, and I think it just looks amazing to go on, and I am really looking forward to the ride. They also have a roller coaster that I keep on referencing in this series because I just finished the roller coaster that's pretty much based off and copies the roller coaster at Hansa Park, which is Fluch von Novgorod. I've mentioned this roller coaster quite a lot while building the Eurofighter Rache von der Saar, and you can see like how I got the name from Fluch von Novgorod to Rache von der Saar. And it does look really cool. It's got a launch, a vertical lift hill, one of the most intense launches in the world actually. Goes from 0 to 60 in just under 2 seconds, so I think it looks very good, very fun, and I can't wait to get on it. Now that we've gone to every park in Germany that I've talked about, we take a ferry up to Gothenburg from Kiel, and we're going to Liseberg Amusement Park in pretty much the centre of Gothenburg. This park looks amazing. It's got an amazing ride lineup. It's got a great looking launch coaster, not as good as Taron, I don't think, but we'll see how I think about the ride when I get off. It's called Helix. Look up a ride POV, but I'll probably just put a picture up on the screen about now. But, it looks really good. It's got 7 inversions. It's got tons of airtime, fast launches, top speed of just about 60 something miles per hour. I have to check that. But it looks very, very good, very intense at some points, and it just looks like a whole lot of fun. They also have what looks to be one of the world's best wooden roller coasters called Boulder, and this ride, it's just airtime hill after airtime hill after airtime. It's got so many airtime hills. Like people that have been on it say it's got the best airtime in the world, and I could see that. It's got so much to it when it comes to airtime, and it's got a few pretty good looking bank turns and a very good looking drop, and it just looks like a very, very fun ride. Talking about fun rides, they've also introduced for 2018 a dive coaster called Valkyria. Now this ride it's like Oblivion at Alton Tower, so it holds you over the top of the drop and then you dive down. The difference to Oblivion is that this, instead of being built pretty much all underground, because Oblivion's drop is like 180 feet and it's all underground pretty much, this is a massive ride. It spreads about 140 feet above the ground, and you go down the drop into 3 inversions, through a few hills, a few turns, into the brake run, It's got the B&M over the shoulder vest restraints, and I love those restraints, and it just looks awesome. It looks really good. The theming looks good. Everything about the ride looks amazing. Next park I'm going to talk about is about 2 hours from Gothenburg, about 1 hour from Stockholm, and it's really home to the last massive roller coaster that we're going to do on the trip, and that's actually a zoo in the town of Kolmården in Norrköping in Sweden. So basically this zoo has probably the world's best wooden roller coaster. It's called Wildfire. It's full of all sorts of airtime inversions, bank turns. It just looks insane. And from what I've heard, people have said that it is the world's best wooden roller coaster, and they market it as such. So I think it's going to be a very, very good ride to go on. But we'll see what I think about it, because some people say it's slightly underwhelming, but I think it could crack my top 10. It will definitely crack my top 10 actually. It could crack my number 1 spot. So, but we'll see how I think it is. My dad thinks it is going to be the best ride of the trip. Not so sure about that. I still think Carmen's going to be the best of the trip, but we'll see how that fares out. The rest of the parks on the trip aren't really too special. I've been to one of them before, which is Efteling. I really like that park, but in terms of roller coasters, it hasn't really got much. I just like it because of the atmosphere, because of just how well themed it is. But that being said, all the parks that I'm going to on the trip look like amazing parks, and yeah, I wouldn't want to go to any others in Europe because they're all known as some of the best in Europe. So we'll see what I think of them when I get there, but for the moment that's pretty much everything for the Europe trip. I'm going to put all the parks on the screen with the dates I'm going to, and probably the date of the vlog, but for now that's all for the Europe trip. Now, talking more about roller coasters in Europe, a roller coaster in a park called Energylandia in Poland actually opened this week. It's called Hyperion. It opened on the 14th to limited amount of riders. It's still got a 3-hour queue, but this is the Europe's tallest chain lift roller coaster. Now, if you don't know what that means, it pretty much means it's Europe's tallest roller coaster that doesn't feature a launch. And oh my god, does it look incredible. It starts on this 260 something foot drop, and it looks like you go flying out your seat on this drop. In the back it looks like you go absolutely rocketing, and in the front it looks like you would go like flying as well. Up into this first airtime hill, looks like it gives insane ejector airtime into what I think is going to be the best part of the ride, which is this twist and dive element. It looks like an inversion, but apparently it's not. It looks like it gives great laterals, little stangle dive is what it's called, and a few more hills that look like they give amazing airtime. Now onto this, what they're calling a panoramic wave turn, which is just a glorified overbank turn really. Then you fly up into this airtime hill, into another what they call stangle dive, into a few bank turns, a few like switches, like switching in the banks, bit of airtime there, into what I think looks like an insane airtime hill there. That's supposed to be a splash section into the brakes. I think this looks amazing. In the back where I've heard it's one of the best roller coasters ever built, so I'm not sure. I'm just going to have to go out there someday and go and ride it. I think it looks amazing, and I would love to go on it. Actually, going back to Planet Coaster now, I've almost finished building this little building that you go flying through. Few like lights flash, and like if this was a real ride, you'll probably hear like incantations of like these like Mexican Aztec people like chanting something, so you know that you've gone into the wrong place. But of course in Planet Coaster I don't think I can do that. I'll check for the next episode if I can do something like that, but obviously I'm gonna start using the vintage DLC pack in a new area. I'm just going to like build out the park in the next area, in the next episode I mean. So this is the part of the ride where you would start thinking, oh, something's going wrong, something's up, like some stuff's going down. And yeah, that's followed by the second lift hill, which goes into the second part of the ride, which you will see that I have changed. I'm going to start building the like ride building for that, the show building for that, so just sit tight. I'll stop speaking now because I've been speaking for a solid 20 minutes, but yeah, let's get through this footage, because there's a lot of footage that we need to get through for this episode. So just enjoy me building this Aztec sort of temple building. So after building that little temple building, we can get back onto the little show section during the ride. I know there's some show elements during like the temple building, but I really wanted to get into this bit and just sort it all out. Use the night day transfer thing, which really helps actually doing rides so you can actually see effects properly. But with this, I just wanted like some lights to turn up, you know, some lights to illuminate the different parts of the building you see here. And you know, this really develops the storyline of the ride a little bit if you wanted to look at it like that, because like you've done the first part of the expedition, gone through the Aztec town, and now you're really going into a bit where like stuff really starts going wrong. You know, you shouldn't be in this place. So when the lights turn up, you're like, oh, this is like magical stuff happening, like maybe evil like spirits like taking over what's happening here. Then you go into the temple, and that's when you realise, oh, we're not supposed to be here. So it's a real like chase out of the temple where like you really have the exhilaration of the ride. And when you see the ride POV or like some little snippets of footage from this bit, you see that like the lights that illuminate as you go past, so like you know that you're not supposed to be where you are, and that cranks up the sort of apprehension and sort of intensity of the experience you just saw there, like the lights like turning on and off as you go past them. And of course in here I changed that bit there when it's like flashing with the strobe lights. I do like that effect, by the way, I like doing that, but I changed the strobe effect just to like make it feel a bit more real and feel like there's a bit more like things on the line rather than just this strobe light, because I don't really like how that strobe light looks in that certain position. I do however like the strobe light behind the Aztec god statue you see there. I think that works to like draw your attention to it really. As you can see, I'm just filling the show building with smoke and all that, filling it with rocks and fire, putting a few effects onto the side of the show building. That doesn't really work because you can see it from the inside, but I do try to put rocks to like cover up the edges. It doesn't look great because it's just like the same rock duplicated, because it's really difficult to put the rocks in the right sort of position, but I think it's alright. I think that works for what I want. In a second I will start work on the sort of Aztec town after putting in all this rock work, after putting in the basic structure of the entrance to this area. So I'll get back to you when I start making the Aztec town, because I'm actually really happy with how that works out. So now, as you can see, I've started work on the little Aztec village sort of area. I say Aztec village, in the next episode or whenever I get to work on this ride again, I'm going to start putting in more buildings, because at the moment you only pass through one, but at the moment it's just more about like the rock formations around and just the overall just look of the landscape of the area. I really want to make this area feel like the Mexico section of Fantasialand. I know this park is just like Fantasialand, just in a different sort of way, but I loved that park when I went in 2014, and I will love it, I can guarantee, when I go back. That's going to be a very long day though, because you have to wake up at like 5 in the morning just to get there. However, I want to make this look like the Chiapas area, because that might be my favourite ride I've ever been on. But I want to make it like that. At the moment, I'm just building up the rock formations just so you've got some stuff to like have near misses with. I'm going to start building up the village next time, but I do build a house that you like fly through. Not really a house, but like just a building that you fly through. For the next few episodes, I'm really going to try my best to make a variety of different things in my park, really try to branch out, because I don't want to really be doing the same sort of thing over and over again like I did for the fairy tale fantasy area and the enchanted forest, because I did a lot of that in one go, and although it was fun to do and it was fun to like make all that, I don't think it's going to be as fun with this, because this was very tedious to work on, and although I did enjoy doing it, it's just difficult to do, if you know what I mean, because there's so much that you need to think about, so much that you need to think about aesthetically, and just so much that you need to do just to make like the pyramid. And I still need to theme the inside of it, I still need to finish all this like Aztec town area. I'm probably just gonna like make like 6 hours of footage and just speed it up to like 18 times or something ridiculous like that. I really need to sort out the schedule for these videos, because I'm away for a weekend, like 4 days, and like I just want to get something out there before then. But if I can't, I'll have it on the like interval between when I go up north and when I go across to Europe. But of course, because I've got the GoPro, I'm gonna get the vlogs from Alton Towers, Blackpool, all the parks I'm going to in Europe. Those are going to be on the screen now, I guess. But yeah, this series is just going to be about what I want to do in the game, because I enjoy doing it, so why not? I'm going to do what I enjoy doing. I mean, you can put suggestions down in the comments about what I should do in the next few videos, but I mean, I'm just going to do what I feel is right for the park, I guess, if that makes sense. See, after that, I haven't really got anything else to talk about other than just letting you watch through this and just signing off for the video. So I'm just going to let this roll past for the next few minutes, and then I'm going to sign off, show the POV of Journey into the Enchanted Forest. Of course, that's going to change in the next few videos with the music and maybe a few enhancements to the ride. But I think that's just about it that I need to talk about in this video. Europe trip, I've explained that. Hyperion, I've explained all about that. This ride, I've explained all about that. So yeah, that's about it. So as I said before, that's about it for this video. Yeah, join me in a few weeks for the vlogs around Europe, Alton Towers, what I think of those parks. But for now, that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed these last few bits of footage. I'm gonna finish this next episode, maybe next episode. I'm gonna see if I can do anything with the vintage pack, but I just want to see what I can do, really. Of course, all comments are appreciated. Subscriptions, you know, liking the video, that's all appreciated. So if you want to comment down below what you think I should do, I might end up doing it if I like the idea. So that's about it. Like, comment, sub if you're new, and if you really like the content, obviously. And yeah, peace.